Hello, everyone out there in Rumble, X, and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego, and today we're going to talk some more about It Ends With This. Okay, it ends with us. Sorry, it ends with us. Okay, it ends with this. This movie, allegedly. It's a movie. It's a movie. Okay, not a good one, but it's a movie. I mean, it fills all the criteria. You know, it's got a script. It was filmed. It was produced. It went to the theaters. So it happened. Okay. We're going to talk some more about it. It's still a hot topic in the cultural zeitgeist right now in March. Yeah, it's March now, 2025. How time flies, all right? This movie came out last year. There's a lot of controversy around it. For those of you who don't know, there's a lot of lawsuits involved here. Okay, this movie was supposed to be a chick flick that dealt with domestic violence. Okay, it was the star of this movie is Blake Lively. You already know who she is. The co-star of this movie is Justin Baldoni, who is not only the co-star, it's his company named Wayfair Studios that produced this movie. So he's in charge of this movie. He owns the rights to it. He wrote the screenplay. He hired everybody. Okay, it's his money on the line. Well, him and his financial partner, Steve Sorowitz, his silent partner, who's a billionaire, by the way. Justin Baldoni's not a billionaire, but his partner is. Okay, so they created this movie. They got the rights of the novel from Colleen Hoover. She wrote a whole series of romance books. This is just the first book in a series, a franchise, so if you will. Okay, so he had the rights to it. Okay, and he decided to make this movie. This movie deals with domestic violence. Men beating up on their wives, that kind of thing. Okay, which has been done to death. Okay, it's been done. They started making these movies like in the late '70s. In the '80s, it blew up. It looked like that's where the term wife beater came from. Okay, the white tank top. Okay, the men wear. Okay, that term wife beater. The reason it came from that is because all these damn made-for-TV movies or even regular movies, the guy that was beating up his wife always wore that. Okay, he always wore the tight whitey tank top. So that's where the name wife beater came from. Okay, when you see a guy wearing that, he's wearing a wife beater. All right, so so that was happening here, and they made this movie to deal with domestic violence. Justin Baldoni wanted to make a serious movie, a drama, if you will, to deal with the incredible issue of domestic violence, which affects billions of Americans every year. Bullshit, it doesn't. Okay, like I said, this has been done to death. This movie's not creating any sort of awareness. Okay. I'm not saying domestic violence doesn't happen. It still does, but it doesn't happen at the rate that it used to. Okay, you got to remember in the 60s and 70s, I mean, what a man did to his kids or to his wife, okay, it was his business. Okay, the law didn't really get involved. It wasn't until wives started getting beaten to death and kids started getting killed by their parents that all of a sudden, they started making all these social changes about what a man could not, what parents could or could not do to their kids, and what a man could do. Okay, and so there was no more of that, and plus the rise of feminism. No more of this. We're not going to take this anymore, and all that was good. All that was good. Okay, I grew up in an era where it wasn't as mainstream as this today. Okay, I remember being a kid and watching my dad hit my mom. Now it wasn't looked good upon back then either, but it wasn't like considered the worst thing in the world. Okay, that was a different era. Okay, I'm a much older man now. Okay, and I've never hit a woman in my life, and I'm very proud of that fact, and I never will. Okay, the only exception I make to that rule is if she comes at me with like a baseball bat or something. Yeah, I'm knocking her out. But other than that, I've never had need to hit a woman, and I've been attacked by women before. Okay, I've had women come at me with stuff with a knife once. Okay, or more than once actually. Okay. I had a tendency of dating psycho girls, but I've still never hit a woman in my life, and I'm very proud of that. Very, very proud of that. So there's never an excuse to hit a woman unless it's self-defense. I mean, like really self-defense. Okay, like I said, like she's coming at you with an axe or something. Okay, you take her out. But but I did not approve of domestic violence. I already talked about this a little bit in other videos. My own sister recently divorced from her husband, my brother-in-law, ex-brother-in-law, because he was roughing her up. He was, and she didn't tell me about it because she knows what I would have done if I had known about it. All right. But I did help her at the end there. When she did confess to me about what was happening with my brother-in-law, she did ask me for help as far as like moving her stuff out of their apartment, while he was at work, that kind of thing, and I did, but so I know, I mean, the stuff still happens. I know that. I'm living proof of that. I see it all the time. Okay. I mean, I know that it happens. Okay. Because my own family's going through it right now, or they were going through it, not anymore. Okay. But it's not as prevalent as it used to be. Society doesn't like turn the other way at it anymore. Okay, any even sniff of domestic violence, okay, someone's calling the cops. Okay, that's just the way it is today. Okay, so it's not like it's something that, you know, the wife is battered and she's keeping it a secret defending her husband. No, that doesn't really happen anymore. Okay, I guarantee you, any woman goes to work with a black eye, okay, someone at her job's gonna ask her, what the hell happened? Did that pig hit you? Yeah, I'm calling the cops on you. We have to report this. Okay, that's what's gonna happen today. Okay, not so much in the 70s. Not so much in the 70s. All right, but anyway. Because feminism took over, okay, and it's definitely taken over Hollywood. Okay, Justin Baldoni wanted to make a movie because he's trying to get women on his side. His entire acting career consists of doing chick shows like Jane the Virgin, which I've never watched. Okay, that's where he's known for. Men don't know who the hell he is. Men, we don't care who he is. Okay, he's a pussy. He's a beta male pussy. He's one of these pretty boys, you know, that tries to look like he's masculine. That's why he's got the stubble, and kind of walks around like he's aggressive stuff. When you actually talk to him, he sounds like a gay therapist. Anyway, I was using my passion and just the authenticity of the drama, and I can't explain to you just how incredible and vivacious and collaborative the experience is between our passions and our drama. And I mean, that's the way he fucking talks. He's a fucking pussy, okay? He turned in his man card years ago because he's trying to become a chick flick actor. He's trying to be like fucking what Hugh Grant was to rom-coms, okay, in the 90s and the early 2000s. Okay, that's what he's trying to be, okay? And he's not, because he doesn't have the charm that Hugh Grant had, okay? But he is trying to carve a niche there, because men don't know who the hell he is. We don't care. We don't care who he is. That's the truth. Only you women really knew who he was and still know who he is, okay? But that's his market, okay? That's his audience. That's his target audience. He's trying to win over the women to watch him, okay? Good for you. Maybe you'll make it, all right? And so by portraying a movie about this, dealing with serious domestic violence issues, it's going to try to make women want to watch his movie, okay? And he casts himself as the bad guy, okay? Because, he wants to get Blake Lively, okay? He's willing to... She's a bigger star than him, okay? More women follow Blake Lively than follow Justin Baldoni because Blake Lively is a woman. She represents what a lot of American women, white women, want to be. Rich, successful, pretty, respected, famous, all these things, that's a fantasy for a lot of women. So they'll follow her career ever since Gossip Girl, okay? And she's a spoiled brat. She's a Hollywood spoiled brat, just like Justin Baldoni. They grew up rich. Okay, her family are all actors and shit. Her dad, her mom, her brothers and sisters, they're all actors. And so they're all in the Hollywood industry. So it wasn't difficult for her to break in. But what made her famous was the show Gossip Girl. No, I never watched one goddamn episode and I never will. I don't give a shit about that stuff. All right, but that's what made her famous. Okay, because I sure as hell didn't know who the hell she was until she started showing up everywhere on social media. She was screwing Leo DiCaprio for a very long time. Okay, and then... she cheated on her husband with a married Ryan Reynolds on Green Lantern. That's why I first knew who she was, because I'm a superhero nerd, obviously, okay? When the Green Lantern movie came out in 2011, I went to go see it, and that's actually the movie where she met Ryan Reynolds, who was married to Scarlett Johansson at the time. So they had an affair, and they both left their partners and married each other, okay? And and they're still married today, okay? And now both their careers are in jeopardy, okay? Now Green Lantern was a terrible movie, but I'm a big comic book nerd, and Green Lantern, I love that character. The movie was horrible. Ryan Reynolds was terrible as Green Lantern, okay? But I did watch the movie. I kind of like the special effects and stuff. It could have been so much better. But that's how I know who Blake Lively was. I followed Ryan Reynolds. I did not follow Blake Lively anyway. But you women know who she is. You all follow her career and wear her clothes and drink her Buzz liquor that she sells, and you wear her hair care products, and you buy her skin cream, okay? And you fucking and you smell her fucking her shit and all that kind of stuff, and you buy her fucking used tampons on eBay. I know you women are. You're obsessed. It's like the Gwyneth Paltrow, okay? But anyway. So y'all know who she is. So she has relevance, is what I'm trying to say. She's famous. Okay, and that was a big get for Justin Baldoni. This is his first time making his own film. He got Blake Lively to star in it. Oh my God. Well, what he didn't know about Blake Lively is she likes to take over things. She was hired as an actress, but she doesn't just show up in a movie to act in it. Okay, she said it herself. I played the audio interview that she did a few years ago. Okay, she's like, I'm not just here to look pretty and stand on a mark. Okay, I like to be involved in every aspect of the filmmaking. Okay, from the music, the wardrobe, the editing, the directing, the the casting. So she involved herself in everything. She's a prima donna. Justin Baldoni bit off more than he could chew. He could not control her. Okay, now I think something that really pissed off Blake Lively was the fact that Justin Baldoni had on paper he had complete creative control of this movie. Okay, like I said, he's the director, he's the screenwriter, he's the co-star. Okay, he hired everybody, he hired her. Okay, this is like his movie. This is his shot to make it to the A-list. He's not A-list. He wants to be A-list. Okay, he wants to star in those big budget Hollywood movies. Okay, he ain't gonna get there unless he makes a series of good movies that people like, that turn a profit. He managed to broker a deal with Sony. Okay, Sony wanted this movie by a certain time in the summer of 2024. So he had to make that release date. He had no time to deal with drama, okay, or a high maintenance actress. Okay, and then the strikes happened, so it was already delayed. So all these things were going on already. Okay, and she decided to make it worse. Because her husband Ryan Reynolds did this with a Deadpool movie. He took over that franchise. It was initially part of Fox. He's part of Marvel now, but it was part of Fox, part of the X-Men franchise that Fox had. Okay, when Ryan Reynolds took over after the first Deadpool movie, he took over the whole franchise. Okay, he took it away from director Tim Miller, and he became the creative authority of Deadpool 2, which was a success. And so, of course, when Marvel and Disney acquired Fox, okay, they acquired Deadpool. And they knew damn well that they were going to have to leave Ryan Reynolds alone because he understands the character Deadpool. He's a much better Deadpool, and I'm the first one to admit he's a much better Deadpool than he was Green Lantern. Okay, and so he understands the character. He knows what makes Deadpool work. He knows. Okay, it's basically Deadpool is basically Ryan Reynolds with a mask on. So he's basically playing himself, okay? And the audience likes that, okay? Deadpool's very charming, okay? He's a very funny guy. He makes pop culture references while he's killing people, all that kind of stuff. So it's very entertaining. They got that right. It's a successful franchise for a reason, and it is because of Ryan Reynolds. But Ryan Reynolds very sneakily took over that franchise. And he taught his wife how to take over franchises, and that's what she's trying to do here. She's trying to take over the franchise. Well, how did she take over the franchise when Justin Baldoni owns the rights to it? Simple. If you get him to break his contract under a morals clause, like say for example sexual harassment, okay, then her and her husband can sweep in there and get the rights. Okay, they already got Colleen Hoover, the author, on her side, okay, to pose for her and and to stand in unity, especially when Blake Lively announced that she was sexually harassed and filed a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. Colleen Hoover stood by, I stand with Blake Lively, and so did her best friend Taylor Swift, and so did her husband Ryan Reynolds, and all this kind of shit. So she had her dragons ready, okay, to defend her from any scrutiny or any sort of criticism. She's above criticism, right? Well, Justin Baldoni sued the New York Times for writing a hit piece on him, which owned the information they used could only have come from Blake Lively. Okay, and then when he got sued for sexual harassment, he countersued Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, her husband, for $400 million for defamation of character and for hurting his business. Now, you gotta understand, Justin Baldoni lost a lot of stuff, okay? He lost all of his awards that he'd won, his feminist awards that are so important to him. He lost them all. They got taken away. And his agency, okay, his casting agency, William Endeavors, okay, they dropped him. The day after the sexual harassment suit was made public, on Christmas Eve, no less, of 2024, the next day, on Christmas Day, his talent agency dropped him. Okay? Any work he had lined up got redacted. Okay? So he's like, he has to win this lawsuit. He's got nothing going on. Okay? As far as he knows, the whole world thinks he's a sexual harasser. Okay? And based on what Blake Lively said, all right? So he's fighting to defend himself. The only reason he even put up a fight against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, who are much more established in Hollywood, is because of his financial backer, Steve Sarowitz, okay, a billionaire who's paying for the lawyers, he's paying for the media coverage, he's paying for the publicists, he's paying for all this stuff to protect his investment, okay? And so Justin Baldoni responded to this by posting a website and refuting all of Blake Lively's claims. She said that he harassed her while they were filming a scene. He tried to kiss her while they were filming a scene. Okay, he told her she was ugly. He wasn't attracted to her when she rejected his advances. Okay, well, Justin Baldoni posted that he posted the footage from the scene that she was talking about, and none of that stuff happened. She was lying. Okay, just things like that. She was saying that, oh my God, he made me talk to him, have a meeting with him while I was topless breastfeeding my child or something like that. Which that didn't happen. Okay, things like that. Oh, he showed me pornography on his phone. Okay, no, he showed her a picture of his wife, or his partner. They're not married. His partner, after she'd given birth to his child, he was showing her a picture, and he thought it would be helpful because there's a scene in the movie where she gives birth to a child. Okay, so like all this stuff that she was saying was wrong. She said there was no intimacy coordinator, and that's why he was allowed to get away with groping her on camera. Okay, which is not true. The intimacy coordinator came out publicly and said, no, I was hired. Blake Lively didn't want to meet with me. Okay, so he's refuting all of her claims. Okay, so it's looking bad for her. Okay, also Taylor Swift has been scrutinized over this because she is Blake Lively's best friend. Blake Lively asked her to basically blackmail Sony. And say like, hey, I want my friend Blake Lively to edit the movie, and if you don't let her edit the movie, then I'm not gonna allow you to use any of my songs in your soundtrack. Okay, basically. So they had to do it. They had to let her like go into the editing room and cut her own version of the movie, which tested terrible. Everyone liked Justin Baldoni's version better, but she said, "No Taylor Swift. You don't use my edit. No Taylor Swift." And Taylor Swift represents the target demographic of the people that they want to watch this movie. So Sony caved in. Okay, we're gonna release. We're gonna release Blake Lively's edit of the movie. Remember, she was hired as an actress. That's it. Just an actress, okay? She fired the music composer and replaced it because Taylor Swift did not like the composer. So Blake Lively had him fired and replaced his music with another composer that worked on Deadpool Wolverine, one of her husband's composers. Same thing with the editing. She got rid of the editor that was hired to edit the movie, and she used the editors from Deadpool versus Wolverine for her version of the movie. So all this crazy stuff happened, and then she tried to petition the Producers Guild of America to get an actual producer credit in the movie. Okay, because she took over so much of the movie, she wanted an official credit. Remember, she was hired as an actress only. Okay, she had her husband Ryan Reynolds rewrite all of her scenes in the movie. All this was done without Justin Baldoni's, without his knowledge. Okay, he was forced to accept these changes that she made. He tried to acquiesce to her because he didn't want to lose her. Okay, but they had a meeting. Okay, they had a meeting in New York. Okay, in their penthouse, in Blake Lively and in Ryan Reynolds' penthouse. All the cast and crew were there. Baldoni was there, and during this meeting, Ryan Reynolds berated and humiliated Justin Baldoni in front of the entire cast and crew. Okay, listing off a list of grievances that they had with him. Okay, all this was done basically to embarrass him and to force him to capitulate to every demand that Blake Lively had. At the end of that, even Taylor Swift verbally roughed him up. Okay, Justin Baldoni held his ground. He said, "No, I'm the director. Okay, this is my movie. I have final cut on everything. I have final say on everything. This is my money. It's my movie. Blah blah blah." Okay, so because that went so badly, they decided to start smearing him. They had publicists working for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, started smearing him. They fed information to the New York Times. The New York Times wrote a hit piece on Justin Baldoni. Justin Baldoni sued the New York Times. Okay. And he said, that's not true. That's not what happened. Blah, blah, blah. If Blake Lively feels that she's getting negative press, it's because she's tone deaf. When she's doing interviews, she's promoting her products instead of talking about the movie. I made a movie that was a serious drama about domestic violence, and she's over here promoting it like it's a rom-com, which it's not. That kind of a thing. Maybe her version of the movies are more of a rom-com, but my version was a serious drama. Okay, so he was saying all this, right? And so what happens? Blake Lively, she decides to file a sexual harassment suit against him. Okay, Me Too, and she still thinks it's 2017. The Harvey Weinstein Me Too era, but ever since Amber Heard, we know that women do lie about this stuff. Okay, and so he fought back. He's refuting everything, and now he's suing them. Okay, if he loses his lawsuit, he's never gonna work in Hollywood again. You understand? So he's fighting for his career, his life. So I got a lot of respect for that. I don't have respect for Justin Baldoni as a person because he's a pussy soy boy. He promotes that image. He wants other men to be soy boys and pussies and emasculated with no testicles, no penis. Okay, all about their feelings and emotions instead of doing things, instead of being a man of action. He's all about talking about his feelings and fuck you. He even wrote a book, Man Enough, a book on how to be emasculate, how to emasculate yourself. He emasculated himself and wrote a book on how to do it. Okay, that's the kind of person that Justin Baldoni is. Okay, not someone that I want to respect. He's not a real man. He turned in his man card years ago so he could work in Hollywood. Okay, he wants to come across as non-threatening. Okay, and that's the only way that a straight white man is going to get any sort of jobs in Hollywood, especially as a romantic lead, is if he comes across as non-threatening. Okay, if he comes across as masculine and strong with a deep voice, okay, and seductive, okay, that's gonna intimidate women, and they're not gonna hire him. That's why if you look, they want the Timothy Chalamets, they want the Tom Hollands, okay, they want the Ezra Millers, okay, they want these pretty boys, skinny, pretty boys, weak-looking, effeminate boys to be the male leads in Hollywood, okay, because they're very non-threatening. Women they're not they're not intimidated by those kind of men. You see what I mean? Even when you got big beefcake guys like Chris Hemsworth or The Rock, they always got to play idiots in their movies. They got to play dumbasses so that women won't feel intimidated by them. Oh yeah, well he's big and strong, but he's an idiot. I'm smarter than he is, so it's okay. That kind of a thing. That's what they're doing that on purpose. They don't want any strong, successful, independent men in movies. Okay, they don't want that. They even turned fucking James Bond into a fucking crybaby pussy, for Christ's sake. All right, this is Hollywood right now. Now I know it's going to change because we're under new management now. Thank God. A certain election was won, okay, and things are changing, okay? But even if they started like a few months ago, we're not going to see any of that for the next 2 or 3 years, we're still gonna get all the fucking Biden government crap, okay? That's been in the works for the past 2 or 3 years. That's the stuff we're gonna be getting for the next 2 or 3 years before any new stuff comes out, all right? So I'm sorry, but don't hold your breath, is what I'm saying. Okay, this ain't gonna change anytime soon. Like I said, even if they started doing it already, it's not gonna come out for several more years. So for the next few years, we're gonna be inundated with more of this woke crap because they don't have anything else. Nobody was allowed to work on anything else except this stuff, right? Okay, anyway, so yeah, okay, I know I went up on a tangent here, but it's important you understand this stuff, okay? Now, if Blake Lively has succeeded in this plan of taking over the movie, it would have turned her into an A-list producer. Okay, not just because she's aging now. She's hitting the wall. She's in her late 30s now. Pretty soon, she can be able to play the young, hot blonde girl anymore. She's going to have to start playing, the soccer mom or the district attorney. Okay, she already doesn't look very good because she just gave birth to a baby. So she wears a lot of clothes in the movie to cover up her fat ass, all the weight that she gained from giving birth. Okay. So she needs to be a producer, a filmmaker, not just an actress anymore, okay? Makes sense, okay? Like her husband, okay? She gets higher salaries. If she controls the movie, she controls the franchise, she's going to get paid a hell of a lot more money. She's going to have the rights to it. Okay, that's why Colleen Hoover started her own production company to hook up with Blake Lively, because they're already they're counting their chickens before they're hatched. They're like, okay, well, we know Blake Lively's going to win this thing, so she's going to get the rights, and then I'm on easy street. I don't have to write another book again. That kind of a thing. Well, that hasn't happened. So now even Colleen Hoover jumped ship off of the Blake Lively train. Okay, she's distancing herself from it. Taylor Swift also distanced herself from it because the media doesn't really like her very much right now. Okay, you can see that if you watch the Super Bowl. She got booed at the Super Bowl. Okay, not just because her boyfriend Travis Kelce is a terrible football player. He played like he didn't have a heartbeat. Okay, at the Super Bowl, by the way. But because she sided with the wrong dragon. Okay, I'm sorry, but Blake Lively is a bitch. Okay, and that makes Taylor Swift a bitch by association. So she's losing her own fans. So she's trying to distance herself from. I don't want to get involved in this. Well, you already got involved in it. You made yourself get involved. Now that it's looking like your BFF ain't gonna win. It's time to quit letting her be your BFF, right? See, that's how Hollywood is. Okay, there's no real friendships there. No loyalty. Once the tides start changing, people start jumping ship. Okay, that's the way it really is. Okay, anyway. So that's what's going on here, okay? Now, one thing that Blake Lively always compared herself to Khaleesi from Game of Thrones. That's Emilia Clarke's character, the Queen of the Mother of Dragons. Okay, because she controlled the dragons. Okay, well, don't forget Blake Lively. How was Khaleesi defeated in Game of Thrones? Yes, I know the last 2 seasons were dog shit, okay? But how was she ultimately defeated in Game of Thrones, okay? She was defeated by a man bun wearing soy boy. Okay, with no penis, okay, no testosterone, named Jon Snow. Okay, he fucking knifed her ass, okay, after he had sex with her. Even though she was his biological aunt. He knifed her ass. He's the one that took that down, the Queen of Dragons, all right? A soy boy with a beard, with a kind of a beard and a man bun. Who was also all about his feelings. Okay, yeah, that's what defeated Khaleesi. Oh, can you see the irony here? Okay, now let's talk about the movie itself. All right. Okay, back to where we left off. Now, when I left off in the review last time, okay, I'm sorry, but it's funny. When I left off the review last time, we were introduced you already met Alyssa, that's played by the dog ugly Jenny Slate, who used to date Chris Evans. Okay, and they're doing flashbacks now between Lily Bloom, that's Blake Lively's character. Flashbacks of her when she was young. She's being played by a girl named Isabella Ferreira, who looks absolutely nothing like Blake Lively, but she's playing the young version of Blake Lively. Okay, and so they're doing flashbacks of her teenage years, living in Plethora, Maine. Okay. Anyway, Lily Bloom as an adult now is living in Boston. Okay, and she just opened up a flower shop. She's getting it ready. She's cleaning up the place. She just bought the building. She's gonna start selling flowers there. Why? Her name is Lily Blossom Bloom. Of course she's gonna sell flowers. What else would she fucking do? Okay, what else is she gonna do? Okay, be a yoga instructor or what? Her name is Lily Blossom Bloom. Okay. I think it's pretty one-sided what direction she's gonna go. All right, so she's there, and she met this unattractive girl named Alyssa, okay, who's married to some beta male guy who thinks he's alpha, soy boy named Marshall. Marshall's wealthy. Alyssa says, yeah, I didn't just marry him for, I didn't marry him for his money. I married him for his money. Okay, and he's an Indian guy, but he acts like he's American. You know, he's all like, "Oh man, dude, that's right. They're gonna watch some hockey and stuff, dude, bro, man. Yeah, I drive a Toyota. I'm a millionaire, and I drive a Toyota Camry, best car in the world. Hey, you know what, sweetheart? You don't need to be calling her boss. She should be calling you boss. You should be running this whole thing. I'll buy the place and just give it to you, sweetheart. Man, you're my baby. By the way, man, her and I, we're always like talking. We're always having sex like 3 times a week and stuff. Yeah, man. Now remember, this is an Indian guy. All right, acting this way, okay? And of course, you know, Alyssa, being as dog ugly as she is, she's just like, yeah, I just shut up. Oh my God, my husband is just, he's such a nerd. He's an idiot. Oh my God. Like, you know, and I mean, really, like, you're embarrassing me here, okay? Why don't you like stand over there while I'm talking? Well, let the adults talk, okay? You just stand over there, okay? Like that, you know, emasculating him, disrespecting him, okay? Because that's what all men like. That's what we look for in our ugly women. When we marry our ugly women, we also want them to disrespect us and not give us any sex, okay? They got that part right. Anyway, you know, these movies always get it right. Anyway, so that's going on here. Blah, blah. Okay, wealthy beta male. Okay, all of a sudden, the friend, her brother, Alyssa's brother shows up. And now we find out that Alyssa's brother is Ryle Kincaid, who we met earlier. Earlier in the movie, in the beginning of the movie, Lily Bloom broke into a condo, a luxury high-rise apartment building, like I'm living in, but better than mine. Okay, and somehow she made it from the concierge desk, okay, in the parking lot, all the way to the roof of the building without having a key, without having a fob, no concierge, no security. She managed to get in the elevator or take the stairs and made it all the way to the roof of the building, a luxury apartment building that she does not live in. She made it up to the roof and just stood there like all suicidal. She wasn't suicidal, I hope not, but she was sitting on the edge of the roof, okay? Because, you know, like they allow that in high rises in Boston. Okay, anyway, well, Ryle Kincaid comes up there. He's all angry. Okay, we meet him. He's a neurosurgeon. She thinks it's funny. He lost a kid today. Okay, one of his patients died. He's all upset about it. They start flirting. Within 30 seconds, he's kissing her neck. Okay, she's revealing to him Maraschino Cherry urban legends and how she likes to fuck homeless guys. Okay, and then he's telling her, hey, I want to have sex with you. Like, all this is going on within 30 seconds of meeting each other, okay? You know, of course, you know, they don't have time to do it because his beeper goes off. He's got to leave. They think they're never going to see each other again. Okay, well, now they see each other again. Okay, he did reveal in that 1 minute of them get to know each other on the roof of the building. He did reveal that he lived in a penthouse underneath the roof, right next door to his sister and her husband. Well, now we know who his sister and her husband is. Okay, it's Marshall and Alyssa. So he shows up there. The men, by the way, are dressed in onesies. Okay, kitty onesies. Okay, he's got a cartoon. Marshall's got a cartoon character onesie on, and Ryle has a fucking pride flag onesie on. Get it? Get it? All right, onesies, you know, like what little kids wear, their pajamas, what they wear, because apparently you get free beer at this bar they're going to when they're watching the Bruins game, the Bruins hockey team game. You get free beer if you walk in there wearing a onesie. But I think it's more or less to show you that men are immature and they're babies and they need women to fucking wipe their ass and tell them what to do. Otherwise, the men have no purpose in life. They never succeeded at anything. They've never done anything of any meaning without a woman fucking telling them how to do, or how to do it, right, or what to do. All right, that's the message here, okay? So of course he shows up there in his onesie and he starts flirting with her. I already met her. Yeah, we shared our intimate secrets together on the roof. That kind of a thing, you know? Okay, so Ryle admits that they met a few months ago. They shared their naked truths. Okay, Lily's like, we just talked, you know? And Marshall says like, yeah. You know, Marshall is the Indian guy, the rich Indian guy, beta male, likes to act like he's alpha. Okay, yeah, that's what you kids call it today, huh? You call it naked truth. You call it talking, huh? Yeah, well, because, you know, man, my beautiful dog ugly wife here, Alyssa, yeah, her and I, we talk like 3 times a week. Yeah, don't we, sweetheart, huh? Yeah. Like that, right? Okay, Blake Lively, okay, I gotta admit something I noticed about Blake Lively in this scene here is she does look a little bit fucking fat. And I don't mean pretty hot and tempting, I mean like she fucking gained some weight, okay? Like she's like, you know, pushing maximum density here. I know she's supposed to be the lead here, and she's used to being the skinny blonde girl, but she just gave birth to her 4th kid in real life. She hadn't lost the weight yet when she started making this movie, so obviously that was on her mind. She wanted to make sure that she was being filmed correctly so as not to highlight her flab, okay? That's why, you know, she can highlight her big tits because her tits did swell because, you know, she's nursing now. So she is walking down the street in the cold Boston with a coat on and, you know, and a cap, big oversized cap and all that kind of baggy pants and stuff and boots. But her coat is open and she's wearing a fucking sports bra underneath, okay, with her tits up and down, okay. Which, you know, if it's fucking 30 degrees outside, why do you want your coat open with your stomach exposed? Anyway. You see what I mean? They're trying to highlight her tits and downplay her big fucking ass, the stretch marks, the cellulite, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, all right. And honestly, it's kind of weird because Justin Baldoni, he's like in his 30s old. I think he's like 39 or 38 when he filmed this movie. Okay, and this guy's fucking shredded, man. He's more shredded than a fucking Julian salad. All right, so he's in shape. Okay, whereas the woman he's in love with, okay, looks like, you know, she helped herself to a couple too many helpings of tiramisu. All right. Anyway, moving right along. So that's all going on here. Okay, Ryle tells Lily that Alyssa only works at the flower store, the floral shop, because she's bored. In other words, Alyssa basically begged Lily for a job there. Okay, but she's already rich. She's married to a rich guy. She doesn't need to fucking work. She's just doing it for fun. Okay, she's just doing it for fun to seem like she's important. All right, have something to do. Okay, so anyway, the four of them. Okay, two men in onesies. And the two women, strong, tough, independent females that have they don't need no man. The four of them all decide to go to a bar and to show off their femininity and their feminism by having the men pay for all the fucking drinks. All right, so that's going on here. That's how empowered they are. Okay, they sort of go out. Okay, and then we hear a song called "Praise You" by Fatboy Slim. I remember that song from the late '90s. I remember it was in a movie called. What the hell was it? Cruel Intentions. There was a movie called Cruel Intentions, which came out in the late 90s. I was in the Marines back then. Okay, so whenever a new movie come out, I have to rent it from the video store on base. And I remember watching Cruel Intentions. That's the first time I heard this song. Okay, when I was in the Marines at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Okay, yes, it's called. You've probably seen it, Cruel Intentions. Okay. It's a remake of Dangerous Liaisons, I think. Anyway, and that's what the movie where Ryan Phillippe met Reese Witherspoon. Okay, and they ended up getting married. All right, but it's a pretty good movie. Okay, but I remember that's where I first heard the song. Well, now I'm hearing it again. Some fucking 27 years later. Okay, so anyway, they go to a bowling alley and they also go to a karaoke bar. Okay, so they're going back and forth between the bowling alley and the karaoke bar. All right, Ryle has been going to the rooftop every day since he met her, which was months ago. What did he say it was? Like 6 months ago? He met her a few months ago. He said it was a few months ago. So every day he's been going to the rooftop hoping to run into a girl that she already told him, I don't live here. I broke in. But he's still hoping that she'll break in again. The whole idea of exchanging phone numbers never occurred to either one of them, despite the fact that he had his phone in his pocket the whole time. He could have just gotten her phone number and continued the flirtation later on, but he didn't think about that, and she didn't think about that. Okay, who wrote this fucking story? Oh, yeah, that's right. It was either Ryan Reynolds or Colleen Hoover, okay? Colleen Hoover, by the way, is a 40-something-year-old fat-ass, unattractive, ugly bitch who's probably never seen a hard dick in her life, okay? And she's the one that writes all these romance stories, okay? You know, pretty, you know, I guess that's about right, yeah. Anyway, so Ryle has been going to the rooftop looking, hoping to see her again. They flirt again. They flirt while they're bowling. They flirt while they're doing karaoke. We don't know what song they're singing to, okay? But they do agree. He's really like trying to pursue her, okay, in a creepy way, okay. Now he's supposed to be an alpha male. He's supposed to be like the top 0.0001% of the men that women all attract to. He's handsome. He's super smart. He's super successful. He's super intelligent. He's a fucking neurosurgeon, for Christ's sake. He's not divorced. He doesn't have baggage. He doesn't have any fucking kids that he has on the weekends or none of that shit. Okay, he's single, he's good looking, he's smart, he's all these things. He's everything that women want. Okay, he's definitely a provider. Okay, his clothes are fucking on point. I got the wardrobe department on him, on Justin Baldoni. He looks fucking good, man. Okay, his watch alone is like $500. Okay, he wears slacks, he wears leather shoes. I mean, this guy's fashion sense is really fucking good. Okay, so this guy's very well of his appearance. He knows what he looks like. Okay, this guy can easily pick up women. Okay, if he flirted. Okay, but he doesn't really flirt. Okay, he just lets out whatever the fuck he's thinking at the time, which is not how you flirt. Okay, he basically will come up to a girl after 20 seconds or so. I want to have sex with you. And apparently, according to this, it works. Well, it doesn't work on fucking Lily Bloom, obviously. It wouldn't work on any woman. She would want to feel safe with him first. How do you know she's not a fucking rapist or something, right? Okay, so he has no game with women, despite the fact that he's supposed to be the type of man that women are all attracted to, that want to be with. He has no fucking game. He does not act like a player. He's supposed to be a fucking player. He even says that he doesn't do relationships. He doesn't, I don't know how to do relationships, okay? I just know how to have a lot of sex. Okay? But he doesn't know how to do that, okay? Because you got to seduce the woman to get her to open her legs for you. Okay? And everything he's saying is the stuff that only weak, insecure men ever say. You know why? Because the only type of men that Colleen Hoover ever fucking dated were weak, insecure men. And they pretty much had to beg for sex from her. And she ain't even fucking hot. Okay, so she doesn't know how to write any other kind of guy. You see what I mean? So she got to make her fucking handsome lead a fucking beta male cuck too. A guy who's insecure around women. That's how he acts in this fucking movie. He's trying so fucking hard to get fucking Lily Bloom to go out with him, to kiss him. You know, and she's just rejecting. Oh, no. Let's just be friends. We're just friends, okay? We're just friends, you know. Oh, well, okay, well, yeah, no, we're friends, but that was a couple hours ago, you know? Come on. I just want to kiss you. Come on. You know, this is the stuff that a weak, insecure man who has no game with women, does not know how to fucking pick up women, that's the way they act. But guys in real life that act that way don't look like him. They're not fucking neurosurgeons. They're not single. They don't have a fucking luxury penthouse. They don't wear clothes like this. You see what I mean? This movie does not understand real men. They don't understand what real men are like. Okay, they're trying to make him a player, but he doesn't know how to fucking play. That makes no fucking sense. What kind of leading man is this shit? And you think this is bad enough? Wait till you meet the other guy in this love triangle. Okay, Atlas. Yes, his name's fucking Atlas. Okay? You want to talk about this guy? He's even worse than fucking Ryle. Jesus Christ. I mean, Ryle's basically begging fucking Lily to kiss him. He has no fucking... Dude, if you're doing it right, you don't have to fucking ask. It's gonna fucking happen. Can I kiss you? What the fuck is that? If it doesn't feel right, you don't do it. If she's giving you the fuck me eyes, that's when you fucking do it. You shouldn't have to ask. Anyone who's ever fucking picked up a woman would know this. God damn. Anyway, so that's going on here, okay? He walks her home, okay? She acts all coy to him, you know? Like I said, real men don't put up with this shit, okay? In other words, he's trying to flirt with her. She's shooting down everything he says. A real man, a real player would be like, okay, I'm investing way too much in this girl. She's not even that fucking pretty. Everything that I try to seduce her with does not work. She's shooting me down every time. I'm done wasting my time with this bitch. I'm gonna go talk to another girl. Hey, that girl over there's looking at me. I'm gonna go talk to her. Boom. That's what happens in real life when you're in that situation. You don't keep trying to pursue a woman after she's showing you no interest at all. You don't keep trying to pursue her. You see what I mean? But nobody involved in making this movie knows that. Because there's no fucking men involved in making this movie. That's why. You know, if you want to write a player, Colleen Hoover, why don't you fucking actually talk to a player? Okay? Talk to a player. Okay? Instead of writing what you know, which is how to write a bunch of fucking limp dick beta males who have no fucking game and don't know how to talk to women. I know that's the only thing you know how to write. But that's not who your character's supposed to be. You see what I mean? Because you can't have the love interest, okay, or the bad guy. It turns out he is in this movie. Okay, you can't have that guy, a guy that you know the Blake Lively would even consider having sex with. You can't have a guy like that, okay, actually have game. You see, because that would put him on an even playing field as her. You have to show all the woman respect. You don't show the man the respect. Okay, she has to be the boss bitch. Which means not only is she successful in her job, okay, successful in her looks, full of self-confidence and all that other bullshit, okay? But she can have her pick of men. Not just have sex with, but to fall in love with her. You see what I mean? Now, a guy like him, would he have sex with her in real life? Yes, he would have sex with her in real life. Would he fall in love with her? That's a totally different story. This guy doesn't even care about having sex with her. He just wants to fall in love with her. He just wants her to fall in love with him. That is not how a fucking player thinks. I swear to God, if he were to take her home, he would be the one to tell her, I'm not going to stick it in you unless you tell me you love me. Because that's the only type of men they know how to write. What the fuck, man? Anyway, okay, so he begs her to kiss her. Okay, they decide to kiss just once. Okay, she kisses him. It's very, it's nothing. All right. He's like, now he's like fucking his tits just started swelling. Okay, his labia just got wet and shit. You know, now he's fucking got sparkly dust all over him. He's fucking to fly away. Okay, to Neverland. Meanwhile, Lily Bloom's like, okay, bye, friend. And walks away and leaves him there with his wet pussy. Because he can't have a heart on. You have to have a penis to have a heart on. Okay, yeah. And he's just like, I can't stop thinking about you. You know, and he goes home to his, his big, dildo, black dildo called Brutus, and just, goes to town. All right. Yeah. Yeah, he begs her to kiss him. Just once, please, just once. That's all I need. Just once. That's all I need to hold me over. Just kiss me once. Come on. Like that. Okay? And this is supposed to be the leading man. Okay? Fucker can't read any signals. He can't read the room. Okay? This is beta male behavior. Like I said, okay, a real man would already know if she wants to be kissed. And that's the truth. But you're not going to see that because there's no real men involved in this fucking movie. All right? Okay, so that's going on here. They kiss, okay? And then after she kisses him, she says, is it out of your system now? Okay, bye, friend. Because remember, they're friends. And she pushes him away, okay? Now, she has to play coy. She has to be resisting his advances in this movie, okay? In order for the film to work, okay? Because remember, this movie's about domestic violence, about him beating her up, right? So she can't be sexually aggressive towards him. It's got to look like she was trying to fend him off the whole time. He just would not stop. He still kept coming at her no matter what, until finally her resistance was weak. And she had no choice but to submit to him. Okay, you see what I mean? It can't be like, oh my God, you're so fucking hot, I'm gonna jump your fucking bone. Can't have that in the movie. You see what I mean? It's the woman, she's got to they try to fend him off. That way she doesn't feel guilty when he fucking beats the shit out of her later on. You see what I mean? You can't have a woman actually being attracted to a guy like this for real and getting wet by him. Because that goes against the message. All right. Okay, if she's sexually aggressive, it ruins the whole victim narrative that this movie's trying to give you. Remember, she's a strong, empowered feminist who don't need no man, but she's also the victim, the little flower that's being abused. But she's also a strong and feminist power bitch. You see what I mean? She's both. It depends on whatever the situation is the one that she's going to play. You can't get any sympathy if you're a strong, tough, empowered feminist boss bitch, but you can get it if you're a victim. Okay, so the movie's got to play around with these two things, okay? So that's going on here, okay? It ruins the victim narrative if she shows sexual aggression, okay? So she's got to be the one fending him off, all right? Okay, and by the way, only a beta male would fall for her disconnect, okay? So what I mean is that if I'm trying to pursue a woman, all right, and she shoot me down, and I'm just like, okay, but I think I might have a chance with her. Like I'm not completely sure she doesn't like me or something, but we're talking, she's making eye contact with me, we're getting close, she's put her hand on my shoulder or something like that, or she made a little joke and smiled at me, okay, I'm gonna go for the kiss. Okay, if she goes, no, like that, I'm like, okay, all right then. All right, well, you have a good night, okay? Bye. That's it. That's it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, please come on, please come on, I just need a little bit, just to tide me over for a little while, come on. None of that shit. No, nobody fucking does that. Only fucking beta males do that shit. And beta males do not look like this guy, or act like this guy, or have a job like this guy, or have the intelligence of this guy. Okay, or have a job, nothing like this guy. Okay? No man in this fucking movie. Just like almost every other fucking chick flick I've seen. No fucking men in this fucking movie. And I'm getting pissed off. All right. I'm going to stop my review right here, but I'll be back shortly to continue my review if it ends with this, or it ends with us. Okay, I thank you for watching this long. I will see you soon on the next one. Bye.